Hello again, YouTube. You're getting a lot of videos of me recently. I've been getting a lot of parcels come through, mainly because it's Christmas and I've been buying to resell. We are toy dealers, this is kind of what we do. So I've got two parcels to go through. I'm not sure what they are. I assume one of them is HeMan Masters of the Universe. I'm not 100% sure. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to all our new subscribers and thank you to everybody who supports our channel. We've had a few new subscribers recently, so it's always good to see them. If you do have any ideas of what content you want to see going forward, please say. Anyway, here's the first box. I don't know if you can see this, but let's have a look. Oh, cool. Now, I bought this a while ago, and it's one of those things where these sort of items that you'll see now are going up and up and up in price. If you ever go to auctions to buy these, they can be they can go for quite expensive money for what they are. But obviously, the more rare ones go for ridiculous amounts of money. And there we have Klaatu. When I first started collecting vintage toys and looking to rebuy to resell, I go to a lot of auctions, and you'd see loads and loads and loads and loads of Star Wars figures, always from Return of the Jedi. Now, the reason why is because so Return of the Jedi is the third Star Wars film. Lovely crack in the bubble there. So basically, when I bought this, it said there wasn't any cracks, but these things happen. I'm not going to worry about it. So it's a yellowed figure. Anyway, yeah. So Return of the Jedi, when this film came out, it was popular just like the other two, but unfortunately, after the following year, it kind of died off. There was no more films to make. There was no more toys to bring out, really. So what kind of happened was, a lot of these things became like, they just weren't as popular. They were overproduced. And so things like Action Force, and then eventually G.I. Joe, HeMan, Thundercats eventually, they all took over, and probably hear my cats in the background. They're going through the bubble wrap. So yeah, they eventually were replaced. Star Wars wasn't a cool thing anymore, wasn't in, which is quite sad really, but it is what it is. And what happened was a lot of these box figures were left in storerooms, in stockrooms, in warehouses, all filled up. And so, the original ones you can get hold of. In all fairness, there's a lot of mint on cards you can get with Star Wars. It's quite maddening, really, when you think about it. There's literally loads and loads and loads of Star Wars carded figures out there on the market. Most of them do come from Jedi, but there's thousands and thousands of some of them. So you can generally pick up what you want. There's nothing in the Star Wars line, and this is obviously relatively speaking. If you want to collect the main figures, there's nothing really rare, apart from when you get to the variations, obviously, like you want to keep Jawas and everything. I think the most rarest card probably is, the most expensive card you'll pay for is, well, most expensive figure is probably like a Boba Fett or a Yak face on card. R2-D2 pop-up is quite expensive as well. But then when you get into variations like the Chewbacca Palatoy, Chewbacca 12 back can be quite expensive. Finding General Madine on the Tri logo is also quite expensive. But anyway, back to this figure. So Jedi, they're not the most expensive figures in the world, Jedi figures, but they have been going up in price. People have been asking for mint conditions on one of these, about £150 now, which is quite ridiculous, really. But they're getting it. But you have to have nice white clear bubbles. This one's yellowed, which is always the way with Jedi figures. They're very hard to find in nice clear bubbles. The card's quite alright, straight-ish, but unfortunately it's got some litho damage. I think this might be the is this the Palatoy version? I think it is. Yeah, there it is there. Palatoy Colville. It's sad that these figures are deteriorating, and eventually they won't last anymore. So if you do collect Star Wars figures, I'm sorry to say, but eventually these bubbles will burst, and they will crack, and they will fall apart. There's nothing we can do about it. Some, if you keep them in good condition, if you keep them in nice cases, if you keep them in well-conditioned rooms, like, you know, good air conditioning, it will keep them preserved, but not forever, unfortunately. I think the first cards are to go with the Jedi cards because the quality of the bubble was poor, the plastic. So they start to yellow and crack first, and then you'll find there are certain lines and certain figures that will go next, and before you know it, they'll all be gone. So a little tip, if you are thinking about collecting Star Wars for the future or for, you know, finance, be very wary of that. I don't think you're going to have a good pension scheme if you, in 30 years' time, if you're thinking of buying now, starting now, because some of these things are just not going to be worth it. Buy loose. Chances are loose are going to stay better condition over the years, but they eventually will break down as well. But I also recommend buying card backs, just normal card backs minus the bubble, if you can find them, because what they're doing now is collectors, they're displaying their card backs with the figure, just because it's getting hard to find cards on bubbles without bursting or breaking or falling apart or yellowing. So he does appear to have a crack on the top of his head as well. But anyway, I think I paid about £25 for this. It's a bit of a steal to get Star Wars toys on card for £25 nowadays. They're just too hard to find. You know, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, you could pick up most of the Jedi cards for under £50. You could probably pick up a few Emperor cards for around about £70, £80. If you're lucky, you might pay £200 to £300 for, you know, some kind of rarer cards like the original Star Wars Lego ones. But I'm happy to have him. I'm not going to ask much for him. I paid £25. I'll probably spend like 38 or something like that, and take an offer on him. I'm not trying to break, you know, I'm not trying to rip people off or anything like that. I'm not trying to be too greedy. But it's quite cool. I don't have him in my collection actually, which is annoying. I might just keep him in my collection if he doesn't sell. I always say that about everything. There's the two mystery figures that they decided to not announce until after the film came out. Unfortunately, they're Ewoks, so nobody really cares. Tape damage there, but it's actually part of the star case. This is a 65 back, I believe, yes. A special offer card with 9 or 9 yes, you can get 9 a rebel ally, featured in the next chapter of the Star Wars saga, Return of the Jedi. Cut out the names for any 6 Star Wars minifigure packs fronts and send together with current first class letter postage too, and it gives the address in Colville. Sadly, this meant a lot of people would cut out the the names, which would be like this bit here, or any kind of proof of purchases, which usually on the some cards around about here. Yeah, it's, you know, cut out cards and sending away free things similar to the HeMan line, HeMan Star line. It's good at the time because you got free stuff. I bet every kid loved it, but unfortunately for us collectors now, you know, we didn't really think about it then. It means that a lot of cards are now destroyed or not in tip-top condition. So I'm pretty sure in my loose collection, I'm of a random Star Wars collector. I collect things that I randomly find out in the wild. I never really buy at auction or off eBay for my own personal collection. I literally just go to car boot sales and charity shops and the occasional bottom of a box in a toy fair. I will find these figures. I believe I've got every single one on the back of this card. I'm only starting to miss some of the last 17. I do not have Luke with a blue lightsaber though. I have him with a green saber. And there's a variation on Yoda, I believe, like a brown snake and the orange snake, that sort of thing. Here's something I'm a bit surprised at. Where is? Oh, there he is. There's the black Bespin Guard and there's the white Bespin Guard. I was wondering where everyone was. I was thinking they forgot something, but no. Anyway, this on to the next box. I think, don't hold me to it, I think it's HeMan. So this box is filled up with, you know, these things. so I'll be careful trying to pull them out. Well, I can see some HeMan. We finally have HeMan. Now, don't laugh at me because I don't know the names of these characters. I'm not a massive HeMan fan. I'm getting into the series, so I'm basically buying whatever I can, whatever I like. So we have here HeMan's horse. I want to say it's called Strider or Stride or something like that. Obviously, some HeMan fans would be like, "Oh, what an idiot!" I don't know what he's called. But what's weird is I always saw this toy as a kid, and I was like, my friends had it. I was like, "Oh, this looks really cool. It's a big horse." And I thought it was mechanical. I thought it walked. It was only recently that somebody said to me about it. They said to me, "Well, I remember that horse, it was rubbish, wasn't it?" I'm thinking, what do you mean? I thought it walks along, it's great. But no, it doesn't. It's rock hard, the legs don't move at all. There's nothing you can really do with it. I mean, the guy on the back moves around. That's it. I mean, the seat doesn't do anything. So I've had this character before. He's the guy, look at that cobweb. What I'll find. He's the guy which has all the wings and stuff. I think he's the one that flies in the show. More of that. So he's a bit dirty and he's got a bit of paintwear loss on his face, but he's rock hard in terms of his body. That's always good to find. And he's marked Mattel Malaysia. Now I believe, if I'm right or wrong, there are some, how's it called? Is it COO, CATTO, COO, certificate of all something? Country of origin, that's the one. Country of origin. I've been told that some countries like France and Malaysia, and are worth more than some other ones. I'm not 100% sure which one's which. But that's quite cool. These are quite. These two are quite easy to find. I think I don't think they're that rare at all. And some more stock for the store. Oh, everyone's favourite. Fisto. The power of... yeah, fisting. Action's quite good on him still. His legs are a bit loose. He needs a clean. But that's always good to hear. He's got obviously some damage there. I mean, it's not worth much. I didn't pay mega much for these. I paid... I think it's like £20 a lot or something. Next I've got this Bumblebee man who I got this figure for sale at the moment actually. I really need to work out what their names are. There's some amazing guidebooks out there and loads of YouTube channels about it. But with He-Man it's a bit like G.I. Joe. There's so many characters. It's all new to me. I know who He-Man is, I know who like Man of Arms is and Many Faces, and that's about it really. I've watched pretty much all the TV series. His arms are really tight, that's good. So I don't really know much about all the other characters. Similar to G.I. Joe, there's like maybe 1,000 figures you can collect. So it's one of those things where it's just a puzzle, trying to work out what's what. But eventually I'll get there. Here we have Battle Cat. I think his name is it Cringer in the series? He's actually in alright condition. I don't think I've ever had one of these. I've had his saddle and his helmet like multiple times because I know what they are. Whenever I find them in a box of bits at a car boot sale, I pick them up. I actually find He-Man quite easy to find at car boot sales. A lot of people think that with car boot sales you can't find any vintage toys anymore, especially Star Wars stuff. They're always moaning there's no Star Wars stuff. Well, I do find Star Wars figures nearly every time I go. They're usually Return of the Jedi. They're usually Princess Leia figures like the ones who are in her bounty and her gear. It's not worth anything much at all. But I do occasionally find He-Man. One thing I do never find is Action Man. I'm always on the look for Action Man. I find the vehicles, but I never find the figures. So I've got another one like this. Can't remember what this guy's name is. The chrome on his hand is sadly starting to wear. Action's good. Legs are relatively stiff. Body's pretty good. Paint wear, not so good. But overall he's alright. It's a bit of a weird caricature of like Asian people, isn't he? I'm not really sure if I really would approve of it now. He is made, it doesn't say where he's made, but he's alright. I mean, a lot of these figures, I've got multiples of these figures already in my box of figures I have for sale at toy shows, so it's just extra stock really. This one I think is called, is it Skylo? Sky something? I've had him about 1 million times. So usually I always make sure if I ever pick him up, he has his sticker. If he doesn't have a sticker, I'm not really bothered by him. But this one obviously somebody's painted the sticker on. He's quite a colourful character. Looks very weird. To me, he looks like he should be out of some like back Flash Gordon or something. When you spin him, he's supposed to, his arm's supposed to go around like a typhoon sort of thing. Yeah, he's not worth much, unfortunately. He's probably worth a couple of quid. He's not in the worst condition. I don't think he'll still stand. I think he's a bit loose. He might have to cuddle up next to Battle Cat. It's crazy how much these figures are now go up in price though, especially HeMan and Skeletor. HeMan especially. I remember when I first started buying and selling toys, I bought a massive job lot of basically bought somebody's attic for £200, and it was like 12 black bags filled with vintage toys from the late 70s up to the very early 90s, and there was like 3 or 4 He-Man figures in there, and they had all the weapons, all the bits you need and everything, and they were selling quite nice price around about £19-20. Now it's £50. It's incredible. Now, when I think of like my childhood, and I think of He-Man figures I did have, or did play with, or did see, my friends would, they would usually go to a car boot sale, and they would go every week, sort of thing, and they were die-hard car booters. They would come back with He-Man figures quite a lot, and I never really knew what they were. This is one I remember seeing all the time, and I never picked them up in any kind of job lot since. I don't really know. I don't think he's that well loved, but I think you press the back and it pops up. He had his axe, which is one of the reasons why I was like, do you know what? You never hardly ever see weapons anymore, because they're getting harder to find. They used to be quite easy to find He-Man weapons, but now they're getting harder and harder, especially ones with like marked with certain makers and stuff. Like this one's marked Taiwan. So another one to add to the basically the collection, if you will. These will all be for sale eventually. I'll need to sort them out, clean them up. Most of these will probably go to the NEC Toy Fair with me on the 27th of December. And so that's pretty much it really. I paid basically £17.99, so I paid £18 altogether for all these. Now that might sound a lot of money to some people, but on my stall I will put some of these figures out for certain prices. Like he'll probably be £3 or £4. In this condition he's probably going to be worth £2. He'll be worth £3. I might put him out for £7 or £8. I don't know what they go for, but he's not the best condition wise, but he's got his axe. That axe must be worth £4 or £5 all day long anyway. So he'll be £7 or £8. Bumblebee Man would be £2 because he's missing his wings. Fisto, with his ultimate power fisting, will be he'll be £3 or £4 because his legs are damaged. The horse, it's pretty good bit. This could be £4 or £5. He's not desirable, unfortunately. But Battlecat, on the other hand, I'm not really sure what it goes for. But you know, when you get the armor and everything, and you put him on the back, it can go for a lot of money. I think he's worth £25 when he's complete, so I might just keep him for now. If not, I'm probably going to ask about £10 for him. I don't know if he's worth that, but the prices are going up, and he's going to be one of those figures that people are going to want in their collection. Anyway, it's been a bit of a short and sweet one this time. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and see you again.